It's been about like 2 seconds. I think I've had long enough of a break. I think I'm in love with you. You don't really mean that. I truly do. You aren't thinking right, Tom. No, I am. You're the only thing I've been thinking about since we first met. Your stupid, weird obsessions and quirks that are just too dorky and cute. Your weird knowledge of almost everything. I'm so helplessly in love with you, and I don't know if I'm okay with that. Tord slowly let Tom escape from his loosened grip. His autochromatic eyes were practically flashing like alarms. His thin lips curled into a grin. I think I love you too. Really? But I don't want to lose my friend. We can be more than friends. Promise? Tom hooked his pinky finger with Tord's before pulling him to another hug. I promise. Almost half an hour of awkward hugging and small talk, Tord decided to lighten the dull atmosphere. So, are we like a thing? An item? If you'd like to be, I would. It would be a pleasure to fall hopelessly in love with you. Tom stood up and headed back to his house. That's most of our checklist gone already. True. Numbers 3, 7, 8, and 9. I can't wait to complete it with you. Tom approached the door before giving a final wave of goodbye to Tord. Goodbye, to which Tord reciprocated. The sunset was dusty lavender, patterned with intricate detailing of multiple shades of blue. The moon was a white crescent, and the stars were only beginning to peek through the colors. Tord sat on his window, hugging a plush panda and weaving a new flower crown. Aww. Okay, bye. This is cute. Royal blue roses with small white willow compliments. Tom dreamily gazed at him from his window. What's got you so happy, kitty boy? You. Bold. Very confident. Love changes people. So you love me? Yes. Well, I love you too. Tom tugged at the strings hanging from his hoodie that settled on his chest. You want to score off another mark? What are you planning? Oh, wait, what? Want to score off another mark? What are you planning? My dad is an alcoholic. I could probably get us something. Sweet. Meet me at the tree at 9. Can't wait. Tom pulled his checkered curtains shut before rushing to the cellar. He carefully collected various unlabeled bottles. They obnoxiously blinked together, swishing the liquid contents up against the glass. Decided to wear something subtle. A black tank, black jeans, a single silver chain, and a red and white flannel. That was very fancy. Sure enough, Tord was waiting where he promised, sitting with his legs folded on a gray, floral, fleecy blanket. He was wearing a white cropped shirt patterned with stars, lemon yellow shorts that were held in place by mismatched coral and mint suspenders. Why does this matter? He enthusiastically waved, holding a peach flower crown and a blue one, the one he'd crafted earlier. Hey, a boyfriend. I think I preferred kitty boy. So mean. Tom stuck out his tongue before sitting beside Tord shifting, placing the blue flower crown on his boyfriend's head. Looks nice. You made it for me? Obviously. It was kind of your color. Tom grinned stupidly. He fiddled with the metallic lid of the faded glass bottle he was holding. Tord picked up a nearby brown bottle, swirling contents before taking a cautious swig. He immediately choked and began laughing. Tom giggled before crawling over to gently pat and rub his neighbor's back. You okay there, Starboy? What is that? Tom sniffed the bottle. A familiar pungent aroma like washing products filled his nostrils. Vodka, I think. It tastes like nail polish remover. How have you tasted nail polish remover? Silence, then more laughter. Tom switched towards bottle with a fruit cider, which he much rather preferred. Tom was sipping a bottle half full of honey whiskey. The flavor was sweet and burned his chest, immediately warming his body. Tord flopped forward droopily. He hugged Tom's thigh. Kitty boy? Yes, Tord. I think you're drunk. Really? Yes, the stars told me. Tom sighed. After 2 bottles of cider, half a bottle of whiskey, and a shot of vodka, Tord was drunk. So Tom had to hold up the end of his promise and pledge himself into a drunken state. Tom couldn't remember much from there, but what he could remember he'd never forget. Scattered empty bottles of alcohol paved the forest floor and around the two boys. They were both groaning loudly. Tom sat cross-legged with Tord lying with his head on Tom's lap. Tommy, Tordy, I love you. I love you too. Don't leave me. I won't. Nothing can tear us apart. Are you sure? The stars told me. Silly Tom. Stars can't talk. Will you remember me? Always and forever. At least, remember me by something. My first love? No. I was thinking something like this. Tord reached up, grabbing Tom's neck and pulling his face down to his own. Their lips collided in a flurry of passion and love. Tom let his body go numb as he pulled Tord closer to him. It was messy. Very messy. But neither of them cared. They loved each other and could worry about their inexperience along with their aching hangovers in the morning. Tord pulled away and giggled like a toddler would at a new gift. His long eyelashes that Tom swore had been coated in mascara fluttered slowly. Starboy, that's what I'll be to you. Then darkness. Tom couldn't recall how he passed out, or how much he'd drank after that, or where Tord went, or when he'd been taken to the police station. Dun 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 dun! And this is where shit gets bad. Maybe. Possibly. No spoilers. Whoops. Tom hated it. He hated where he was. He hated who he was with. Who he was with. Why he was here. The place he'd been put in was a small cell, nothing like the movies. The steel slab protruding from the wall was only a place that Tom could sit comfortably. The dirty green paint job was chipping and peeling off. The officer was strangely nice, tall, buff, and a lingering scent of peppermint. He kept touching Tom's shoulder and slapping his back. After a few hours, the officer came to his cell and slid open the metal gate. Somebody's coming to get you out, kid. Really? Tom crossed his fingers, hoping Tord would be his savior. That he could run into his arms and they'd be fine. Oh god. But he was wrong. Two very different figures were leaning up against the police desk, engaged in a bland conversation. Your older brothers. They got you out. They're not my... The taller one with longer hair lunged forward and grabbed Tom, his hand closing over his mouth. He cautiously bent down to his ear. We're with Tord. Play along. The shorter one with bushy eyebrows and messy hair decided to speak up. Yes, officer, that's our baby brother. He punched Tom in the arm, instantly causing a numb sensation in the surrounding area. Tom nervously laughed it off and convincingly patted the stranger's back. The police officer walked away as Tom was harshly dragged outside. He immediately pulled away and stared at the strangers with an expression of panic and confusion. The shorter one lit a cigarette and promptly began to take a deep drawl. The one who grabbed Tom earlier nervously chuckled. I'm Pat. That's Paul. Tord sent us. Why you two? We're his godparents. You don't look old. We're only 4 years older than Tord. Yikes. Anyway, speak of the devil. Tom felt two warm arms wrap around his waist and pull him into a hug. He felt his chest flutter with a familiar aroma of sugary sweets and cherries filled his senses. Tord, what? Oh my goodness, Tom, are you okay? I tried to wake you up, but you're a really deep sleeper and the police were already running over and you're quite heavy, no offense. But I didn't want to leave you, so I figured that if you were arrested... It's hard. Oh my god. It'd be nice if I could read. Tom cupped Tord's face in his hands, gingerly pecking his cheek, immediately silencing the chanting Norwegian. I'm okay, Tord. Well, I still have to apologize. And how are you planning on doing that? Tord laced his fingers with Tom, dragging him in the direction of the city center. What? He didn't stop running until they arrived at the tall white building. Metal pillars and glass screens decorated the entrance. The city ice rink, obviously. Tord checked them in and grabbed them matching black skates. Tom grabbed them and laughed. After tightly lacing up, Tom began to stagger over the rink. Tord draped his arm over the shoulder for support. You ever skated before, kitty boy? Honestly? No. No way. You're lying to me. I promise I'm not. Well then, I guess I should be your mentor. Tord set foot in the ice and immediately glided into the perfect circle. Tom refused to let go of the wall. His legs could barely shift. Tord linked arms with Tom. Tord linked arms with Tom. Good enough. Come on, Tom. We're leaving the wall. No, Tord, I swear I'll kill you if you can catch me. Tord turned backwards, skating perfectly in front of Tom, who angrily scowled in defeat. He held on to Tord's hand, who skated a few steps. Tom tried to copy, his feet struggling to keep a rhythm. After sluggish skating for almost 5 minutes, Tom's skate blade found a chunk missing from the ice. Oh my god. Can I read, please? The two boys toppled to the freezing ground, Tord with his back to the ice, Tom's hands slamming on either side of his face and his body hovering over hesitantly. Tord's lips curled into a smile. You look amazing lying over me, idiot. The two boys exited the rink. After killing their time at candy stores, the park, and the ice rink, the duo finally arrived home. The sun was bowing down on the rugged mountains lining the horizon. Tord held Tom's hand in his own, grinning warmly at his boyfriend. Before you leave, I have one last gift. Tord dipped his body, one knee grazing the gravelly concrete, and the other bent at a perfect 90-degree angle. He fished his hand into his pocket to retrieve an orange gelatin Harbo ring. Tom stifled his laughter into the sleeve of his flannel he put on. His other hand still remained in Tord's comfortable grip. Kitty boy, Tom, Thomas, whatever you please. I have fallen madly in love with you, and I am okay with that. So please accept my offering and take this ring in proposal of our never-ending friendship and love. Tord slipped a candy ring onto Tom's finger. Tom tackled Tord, flinging his arms around the latter's neck. I guess this means I have to get you a ring. The two lovers chortled heartily in unison before heading to their respectful homes. Oh no. Tom locked the door before hazily leaning against the frame. He was in a lovesick state, but not at the right time. A tall, dark figure paced down the stairs. Tom? Tom felt his throat tighten as his heart skydived to his toes. Dad. How about we stop here? I don't like this. Oh no. Chapter, 50-something. Shattered Bottle Syndrome. Tom's dad stumbled forward into the light illuminating of the small doorway. What do you think you're doing? He reeked of liquor and smoke, the smell of Tom's childhood he'd grown to despise. I was just coming home, Father. From the police station. Tom curled his hands in a fist. His father's calmness was very strange and out of character. If this had been their old neighborhood, the neighbor would have certainly heard the splintering of shattered glass and the strangled cry of pain. The people in Tom's class learned to stop asking about his sudden injuries. How did you know? Know that you and that boy snuck some of my alcohol into a prohibited area and later illegally snuck out of prison? I can explain. Crack. Tom dodged the airborne bottle swiftly, but could still feel the shards raining down on his arm. His dad had fury blazing in his dark eyes. His face slowly turned red, his breathing shortened. Swung again, and he didn't miss. The bottle sailed through the air before shattering on the back of his son's head. Tom fell to the ground, feeling the blood forming and then spilling down on his neck. His dad cackled and retreated. Oh my god, I'm sorry, I'm getting emotional. Ooh, Jesus. Okay. His dad cackled and retreating from the room to probably find more alcohol. I don't want you hanging around with him. If you knew any better, you'd break things off now. Understood? Tom just groaned in return. If his mother didn't get home soon, then this injury could be fatal. Blood trickled down his face like red tears. Yes, Father. Okay. Oh, fuck. Chapter something else. Pretty lies. Tord was helpless. He had been laying on his silky bed sheets, taking his time and perfectly looping his handwriting in the most recent letter he'd sent to Tom. Tord had loved Tom from the start. The way he acted like he was too cool for everyone else, but under his visage, I don't know, was secretly a dork. He hadn't planned on Tom knowing he was his admirer, but now that they were officially dating, he considered signing under his true identity. Crash. An echoey sound of shattering glass filled the house next door. Tord shrugged it off, with little thoughts of Tom accidentally dropping a coffee mug or plate. Something stupid. It was around 10 at night when Tord caught sight of a hooded figure, angrily slamming a door, and stormed into their bedroom. His prince, Tom. Tord slipped his note into a crisp, candy red paper envelope. He tucked it under his feathery pillow and sauntered over to his window. Evening, boyfriend. Tord. Tord was taken aback by the sudden icy tone of his gruff voice. On the second glance, Tom did look different. His blue hood practically hid his face, but Tord didn't miss the narrow, wet lines streaking Tom's rosy cheeks. Hey, are you okay? Yes. Are you sure? Yes. You don't really seem— I said I'm fine! Tord sank back into his room, fiddling with the glinty white fairy light. I was only trying to help. Tom felt a pang of guilt, but immediately pushed it aside. Staying with Tord would only hurt the both of them. Tord would be more worried in a relationship with Tom than without. At least that's what he kept telling himself. Tord. Tom? You know we're friends. Yes. That's why I'm breaking up with you. Tord felt his heart tearing itself into pathetic shreds. His face turned grim as he bit his bottom lip to stop it quivering. But you love me. We can't be together. Is it your dad? We can run away and— No, Tord. I don't love you. Lies. Filthy lies. Tom felt remorse and pain flooding over him in a painful wave. We can't do this. Why? Am I not good enough? No, you're perfect. I'm not good enough. Tord, let's just leave it at that. No! What did I do wrong? Nothing. I'm the one who made mistakes. Tord, just leave it. Am I too weird? Am I what they saw me as too? Am I what they saw me as? Okay. The weird gay boy with the fucked up eyes and obsession with stars? The freak that was unlovable? No. Do you have any idea how much that hurt? How many tears I wasted on trying to change myself? How many scars lined my ugly body because it wasn't good enough? Listen. No, you listen to me. I finally thought somebody accepted and loved me for who I was, but no. He was just a liar, abusing me in the worst way possible. Do you know how broken I feel? No. Tom couldn't ignore the tears brimming Tord's beautiful eyes, spilling over and forming damp streams on his fragile pale skin. Look at me, Tom. Tom shook his head, following small dancing crows with his eyes. He did love Tord, but all he could do was hurt him. More than the pain of heartbreak, if Tom didn't leave Tord, his dad would probably kill him. Look me in the eyes. Look me in the eyes and tell me you don't love me. Tom felt his shoulders tremble violently as he muffled his sobs into his closed lips. His face turned to Tord, the boy he loved. The one who now was sniffling noisily despite desperately wiping his tears with his red hoodie sleeve. I don't love you. Tord smiled through his aching pain and tearful shivers. He tugged at his pink curtains, mumbling a quiet farewell before shutting them. Goodbye, Tom. Tord was helplessly heartbroken. Oh, God! Oh, Jesus Christ! Okay. Oof, here we go. Broken. Tom was broken. The same image of Tord's sorrowful smile after their breakup was the only thing running through Tom's empty head. The letters stopped arriving, and Tord always had his curtains closed. Tom's father would avoid him, and his mother would generally avoid the house. It was now the 23rd of December. Tom thought about him and Tord happily playing in the snow, pelting each other with snowballs and nestling in each other's arms with warm tea at night. He should be in the Christmas spirit, but he wasn't. He sat on his bed, reading through his collection of notes and scoffing. Who would see such nice qualities in a monster? 78. How you can make somebody happy with only a wave and a smile. Stay golden. 90. The fact that you care about small things, even when you don't care. Details create the bigger picture. He had been receiving the notes for over 3 months, but still had no clue who SB was. After hastily discarding the letter, he picked up his chipped guitar. He didn't know many songs, but one felt right to play. He planned on singing, but immediately shut his mouth as a distant voice sheepily sang, "Oh no. Oh, well, time to fucking cry. If I told you that I loved you, tell me, what would you say?" Tom strummed quietly before whispering himself, "If I told you that I hated you, would you go away? Now I need your help with everything that I do. I don't want to lie. I've been relying on you." Silence, like awkward static. "I'm sick, and I'm tired too. I can admit I'm not fireproof. I feel it burning me. I feel it burning you. I hope I don't murder me. I hope I don't burden you. If I do. Tom glanced at his icy window, towards curtains still hang, covering his bright room. The singing died along with the guitar strumming. Neither of the boys wanted to make any contact. What they had together was long gone. Tom placed his guitar under his bed. His life was pretty pointless right now. He probably would wait for the holidays to blow over and go back to school for more studying. How boring. Shattered. Tord felt shattered. He'd actually thought Tom was different. How stupid. He was just like the old bullies, the bullies that forced him out of their school. The cutting surely started again. Thin red lines littering his arms, like tiny flicks of crimson dipped paintbrush. How ugly. What would Tom see in him? Oh right, nothing. He left him. Tom was the only thing stopping him from leaving the corrupted world he lived in. Tom was his lifeboat that left him for dead. Oh, the irony. Tom pulled a sheet of star-patterned paper from under his pillow. Fuck. Oh no. Tord pulled a sheet of star-patterned paper from under his pillow. He took his time constructing the perfect letter with his best handwriting, despite the frequently shaking in his wrist. He barely noticed he was crying until the tears blotted the thin blue paper. Not even bothering to wipe his teary eyes, Tord signed the letter and delicately placed it in his matching star-blue envelope. Outstretching his arm, Tord left the envelope under Tom's window. He pulled on his red hoodie and black jeans, an outfit he'd never usually wear. He turned out his light and headed to his safe place, the waterfall. Final message. Christmas Eve. Tom never really hated Christmas. He just didn't have the same twinkle in his eye. Oh my god, I can't fucking do it. Holy shit. Oh my god. Tom never really hated Christmas. He just didn't have the same twinkle in his eyes as he had when he was a child. He'd lost touch with his Christmas spirit. Besides, Christmas was a dreary time. Sleet and dirty snow would cover the frozen, empty streets. He silently entered his room, narrowly escaping one of his dad's drunken fits. His room seemed in its normal state, apart from the blue corner poking out from under the window. Tom fumbled around the star print envelope, inspecting the handwriting closely. Maybe the sender would come clean, or maybe it was his secret admirer. From Tord. Tom felt his heart thudding. Finally, Tord was willing to repair what Tom had destroyed. Tom had hardly slept throughout the heartbreak and couldn't wait to read the note. Maybe he wanted to get back together, but no. That only happens in fairy tales. Tom felt shivers crash through his body as he read the letter. His head fiercely shook as tears quickly spilled from his eyes. His cries turned into screams of pain and sadness. His numb body went as he thudded to his knees. It wasn't true. It couldn't be. Dear kitty boy, or I guess I should call you Tom now. I'm sorry I wasn't good enough for you to love me, and I'm sorry I'm so weak. I was even too shy to admit all the things I loved about you. In short, I'm SB and couldn't even tell you. It's funny that I'm crying whilst I write this. I would have thought this would be easier to write since you'd let me go. Tom, I will never stop loving you, and haven't stopped since I first laid my forsaken eyes on you. I know you couldn't finish our bucket list, but I'm glad I helped you through most of it. You changed my life, and I hope, deep down, you'll find something good about me. Keep your promise, and never forget me. I'm finally happy. I'm with the stars now. Starboy. Tom couldn't speak. He was unable to feel anything except for the hovering ache driving through his empty mind. He couldn't feel his tears blotting the ink, merging with the other damp spots. He was shut off from the world, so shut off that he couldn't hear the news report on the television. Local teen drowns himself in waterfall at Starbank Forest. Hi, I'm dead. Thanks for checking in. Hurry, we're almost done. Almost done. Epilogue. Tom hated Christmas. The day his true love had taken his own precious life because he thought Tom didn't love him anymore. Images of the red hoodie clinging to the dead bluish-white skin always stabbed at Tom's heart. Memories of him being restrained by paramedics while he fought them to see Tord one last time. Tord wasn't smiling as his corpse was hauled from the deepest depths of the waterfall pool. The one time he let his bright trademark smile falter, Tom eventually gave up. His father was waiting at home, ready to scream and hit Tom, but Tom wasn't in the mood. Thomas, where do you think— Fuck off, alcoholic bastard. Tord slammed behind them as Tom's father staggered backwards. How dare you? I am your father. Not through choice, and a pathetic excuse for a parent. He reached for a bottle, slurring his speech. It's a good thing your faggot boyfriend finally died. He was a bad influence. Tom didn't even think about swinging his arm back and to smash the bottle in his dad's face until it happened. Tord was twice the man you'll ever be. 2 months had passed. Tom had finally moved in with his friends Matt and Ed. A small city house, but it was good enough for them. Tom had taken a bad alcohol habit and refused to wear anything but the blue hoodie Tord gave him. Matt and Ed were supportive. They even attended the funeral. The funeral was beautiful. The whole place was decorated with pastel shades of blue and purple, and the entire area scattered with stars. Tom couldn't move on, and deep down, he didn't want to. He kept the letters in the flower crown, a small box dedicated to Tord, a memory box. Tord was right. It was hard to forget him. It was late spring evening when— Oh my god, I can't fucking do this. Whew. Okay. Almost done. It was a late spring evening when Tom decided to move on. The sky was dark and the stars were just beginning to appear. The moon was full and shining like a spotlight. Tom placed a blank sheet of paper on the table in front of him. He fumbled with the pen, unsure what to write. Finally, the pen connected with the page and scribbled a neat line at the top. Dear Starboy. The end. Finished reading Dear Starboy.